Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul.
Good
How
morning.
you doing?
I am doing fine. It is Thursday, May 21st.
That's right.
It's a blessed morning. The sun is shining. The wind is blowing, and we're alive, and we're happy to be alive this morning.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling the Thursday morning this morning. It feels like what you would call back in the day Friday Junior,
I still
right?
call it
I
that.
feel like we don't say that often, though. Often enough, I think, because most of these days, that Thursday felt like Thursday and not necessarily Friday Junior. But today it feels like Friday Junior, and I hope for you guys it also feels the same way as we head on into the weekend. Now, we have some wonderful conversations lined up. Paul, what you got for us?
Yeah, so we have 4 conversations lined up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move over to the screen. You all can join me in. So there's been a lot of talks about helmets and helmet regulations where motorcycles are concerned. So this morning, we're going to be joined by CEO in the Ministry of Transport, none other than Chester Williams, and just a slew of other guests that will be on to talk about Belize's helmet regulations and safety training. So you definitely want to stay tuned to that conversation, right? And then our second conversation, it's all about recognizing the early warning signs of autoimmune disease with the Belize Health Care Partners. And then thirdly, we're stepping together in the fight against cancer. You definitely want to stay locked into that conversation. And last but certainly not least, why do bees matter? Well, we'll be on set celebrating World Bees Day in a very engaging and interesting conversation. So all of this you can look forward to in this morning's show. But before we get into all of that, we do have our 5 topics that we discuss at the start of the show, and I'm going to turn it over to Sabrina, and she's going to give us those details.
All right, Paul, thank you very much for that. And really, it's 4 this morning, but we want to engage you guys in these topics that we think you should know before you leave your homes this morning. Starting off with the obvious. I know a lot of way right now to feel like gas pain. You know it's bad when they say that premium when premium is cheaper than regular gasoline. And so we'll be talking about that in our first topic for some of the things we think you should know. We also want to get back into that conversation of what's taking place in Placencia. The Placencia Lagoon, they are putting out another statement, and I believe now the Belize Tourism Industry Association is also a part of the conversation. And then after 24 years, the Belize Central Prison gets a new CEO. And so we are saying goodbye to Virgilio Murillo and bringing in a new face leading the prison. And then, now this one's a huge one, Paul. It's time for KTV. Your Tuesday nights are soon to come back. That Tuesday night tradition in the households where KTV takes over Belize. Auditions are set to open, and so we're also going to be talking about that. Now, Paul, let's jump into that gas prices. I think it took a lot of us by surprise, but also not so much, really.
Yeah, certainly, Sabrina. And just to add one more to the list, we're going to also be discussing a bit about the municipal elections and how things are heating up over there with the municipals. But certainly, the gas prices, it's been the talk of the town, and there is perhaps a lot to say about how the prices have been fluctuating. Yesterday, we saw the prices at the pumps here in Belize City, and one of the things we noted for sure is that the price premium
Is now cheaper.
is now cheaper than regular. Is that what we're seeing here? So we're seeing that the price of premium is now cheaper than regular.
Are you a regular or premium?
I am a regular purchaser, right?
Yes.
So there still needs to be a bit more explanation into why that is the case. But what I found yesterday, what I found very interesting, I delved deep into some numbers to try and better understand how prices, what factors into the prices we pay at the pumps. And lo and behold, if the data is to be believed, the main driver of the costs and the increases is in fact the landed cost. How much this fuel costs when it reaches the ports, how much we have to pay for it when it reaches the port. Based on data from January to today's date, that number has almost doubled. In fact, it looks as if it has doubled.
Yeah, from 485,
from 485 to now
812.
812, right? So to almost doubled. So it is almost in the government's defense, right? When the Prime Minister gets up and says, "Paul, why you ask me such a question? You know, see what happened across the world with the war. You know, see what happened with global prices." Well, when you look at the data, it reflects that the price that we're paying, that they're paying to purchase it, to bring it into country, has almost doubled. And even further, more to the government's defense, and to qualify or to prove a point that they're making, and it's that from January to now, taxes, which is another factor, government taxes that influence prices, has actually gone down. So government's tax take went down from $5 and something in January when the prices were actually low, to $4 change here in April when the prices are higher. So when the Prime Minister again comes and says, yes, we've been cutting taxes on fuel. We don't charge as much taxes as we did when things were good, and we ask for the numbers. Well, to his defense, if the data is to be believed, and this is from the Ministry of Finance website, their tax take has decreased by $1, right? So those are two things I found interesting. But now there's a scenario where the margins, the commercial margins and the commercial margins are basically,
that's like the profits for the people
for the wholesalers, the profits for the dealers, the profits for the delivery man, the money the delivery man make. That also gets factored into the cost of fuel. So on the here, on understand how much things get factored into it, and this is the way we pay, right? This is why we pay what we pay. Whether the price is low or the price is high, then the things will get factored into it. But there's a situation now where dealers are reportedly saying that the government unilaterally made a decision to reduce their margins, to reduce their profits, to reduce their take from the equation, from the formula, and they're not happy about that. And the Prime Minister has said he's willing to meet with them. On the flip side, there's a conversation being had about whether or not the the present administration can possibly decrease its tax take even further. So we've seen where they've gone down in terms of tax take on fuel by almost $1 in many cases, and we looked specifically at premium yesterday, but people are comparing what the Brazilian administration is doing to what the UDP administration did in 2012 under the Prime Minister Barrow's leadership. And people are saying, well, if you look at the prices, then we peaked at almost $13 a gallon. And at that time, the landed cost was similar to the landed cost we're seeing now. It was almost $8 then. It's over $8 now. Similar, yes, but a bit less. Yet, the tax take in that period under the Barrow administration was under $4. It was $3, 3 change. So people are saying, well, if there's some similarities, why is it that the Bressenia administration cannot decrease its tax take even further and perhaps bring the fuel prices down to $13 thereabout? My thing is, I think at this point, Sabrina, I don't know. I drive. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm thinking if gas prices go up any further, man, this is gonna hurt. It's hurting right now. Whenever I go to the pump, it's like every time I put in fuel, whenever I go to the pump, I feel like it never got to the amount where it used to go to. And my question this morning to our viewers would be, how much on average on a spend on gas monthly? I think that's the question. We also want to find out whether people are spending more or spending less or keeping the same amount as a result of the rise in fuel prices.
Well, I know that the Prime Minister mentioned that they are losing roughly about $80 million with the reduced taxes that is taking place here. And this is in an effort to not cut into other social programs that they have in place, like NHI, like education and housing, and even food, the grocery rag program that they also have. But Paul, this is getting scary. I mean, it's already scary, but it's getting even more scary when we think of the fact that it's still very much early. And I don't know if we've seen enough in history that prices of gasoline would go down to where we once enjoyed them to be. Paying $14 in Punta Gorda, $15, Paul. If it's set to go any higher than $15, I don't know what I would do. You know, I think of people who have to commute, who don't have the option to catch the bus, and they have to find other means to get from point A to point B for the necessity, like going to work. I think of families who are trying to stretch their dollar at this time. And I go back to the social programs that I mentioned, because at what point will we see that $80 million, they just won't be able to handle that, and then they will have to jump into these other social programs. What will we do then? I also think of the conversation that we had yesterday with the opposition leader and leader of the UDP, and she mentioned that, you know, with the state of the country and where it's getting with even the gas prices, we might be seeing situations where you either have or you don't have. And that's a really scary place to be. So I don't know what we're going to do, Paul, but I think this is time that we start to try to even give our own suggestions on how to cut back and save more.
Yeah, well, this is where we look to our leaders for answers in part. And in my humble opinion, I think that the government of Belize can be a bit more flexible, and I'm not no economist. I just think that compared to history and what we've seen with prices, that perhaps the government can be a bit more flexible with in terms of decreasing its tax take at this point in time, right? It's just the circumstance that we're living in at this time that we may see the need for that at this point. But yeah, so we'll continue to monitor it and definitely continue to report on the developments where fuel prices are concerned. Yeah,
and if they do continue to raise the fuel taxes, are there other areas that we can see some relief as well? Perhaps that's a conversation that we could have. We know that in certain sectors they've been able to get support, like the transportation industry. But people in general still need that. People who do not run on the transportation, the public transportation sector, people who drive their own vehicles, what will they do? We don't get stipends from our work to try to get to work. And so I'm hoping that that's a conversation that we can also have. But let's move things along, Paul. I want to jump into the municipal elections excitement that's currently taking place. I know that there's been a few topics and a few names being jumped out for the PUP administration side. We know that the current Deputy Mayor, Alud Miller, has been endorsed by the Mayor of Belize City. We also hear that the former Deputy Mayor, Alan Pollard, is also interested, and now even the City Administrator. There's also word through the grapevine that she has also expressed interest as well. I believe based on the press conference that was held 2 days ago from the United Democratic Party, they are still keeping their cards close to their chest, saying that they will strike when the iron is hot. But I think it's probably a smart move for them, because we're hearing a little bit of drama right now with the PUP, and I heard some real extreme news yesterday, and I'm not going to repeat it because we don't know how true it is. But it seems like there's a lot of mischief being made right now, and that comes with the election season, I think. And so I know that it's definitely going to be one of those municipal elections that we will be paying close attention to. We have new faces, young blood as well, youth faces, and I think that's something to be excited about.
And I would like to ask our audience, who do you all see as the most viable candidates in your municipality at this point in time, if you live within a city or a town? Or which party do you think is the most viable at this point in time if you live in a city or a town? One of the things we learned, I think, from the 2024 municipals and the 2025 general elections is that youth voices are important in these conversations at this point in time. Youth voices are important at the governance level. Youth voices are important in the campaign, in terms of your campaign strategy. Youth voices are important, especially on social media. So it's, in my view, very strategic and a good look to see two young faces, one who has definitely confirmed publicly his interest by way of Alud Miller in Belize City, and Alan Pollard, who is reportedly also desirous of filling the position, but we haven't seen anything publicly from him. And then there were conversations about Candice Pitts, the city administrator. But youth voices, that's where, in my view, the focus should be, when it comes to these political parties and their push for candidates. In the United Democratic Party, we saw Kerwick Samuels, I think that's his name. He took the lead at the press conference
as MC.
And the United Democratic Party framed it as a foreshadowing to say, you see this youth, this is what we're going for, right? Because I think they're reading the room and they're understanding that youth voices are taking the lead, young people are taking the lead, and we need to ensure that young people are represented at the municipal level in these coming elections. And it is a good strategy because we have a young population, and it is high time we use that, and it is high time we get rid of a lot of these old faces and old heads. Where the United Democratic Party perhaps falls a bit short is in the area of youth, in my view, in that the people that are most forward and the people that are front and center are those individuals that we've seen in the party for a very long time. Right? When you think veterans, when you think of the leader, when you think of the lead senator, and you know, and the list goes on. And so, in my view, they have a more uphill battle at this point in time. Not saying it's impossible to present more youth faces and youth voices that people can have confidence in and that they're willing to throw their vote behind. And that will take time. So it is important that they get on that and that they do that and that they make those individuals public and that they make those names public early when the iron are hot. Because it's in a strike when the iron are hot. When the iron are hot, it can't hot 5, 4, 3 months before. The iron have to hot early so that it only continues to heat up and the conversations only continue to build around those candidates and confidence continues to build around those candidates in my view. Because if the People's United Party gets ahead of them and lists out their candidates for each municipality, then people might lock in their answer. People might lock in their vote from very early while the United Democratic Party sits back and wait for the iron is hot for them to strike.
Yeah, I see some comments. I see Brighton Cod saying here that a municipal election debate would be a welcomed addition this cycle. After all, it would be unfortunate if the first time we learn how our candidates think was after they were elected. And I think that's an excellent idea. I want to go back, though, to what you were pointing out about youth voices. And I think that the PUP administration has done a really good job with pushing young people at the front. We see that especially with the Belize City Council, with their Youth Shadow Council program that they've had, having Alan Pollard as one of the youngest municipal leaders at the time being the deputy mayor, then having a Lude Miller also being very young as well. It kind of takes me back to when we would talk about Patrick Faber in his earlier years, right?
That came to mind.
And so I think that the UDP should definitely take advantage of this type of direction that the PUP is going. We also have a large voting body that are made up of young people too. And so this is an opportunity that I think that they should be taking advantage of. But I want to jump into some of the other comment section that I forgot to mention. Going to the gas conversation, I see Esther Courtney Weatherburn saying, Sabrina and Paul, if I'm telling you this, I'm not lying, but I'm tired. Last week, I went to fill my tank yesterday. I put some more gas. Okay, I went to fill my tank. Then I put more gas yesterday. This is ridiculous. April said here, I can't remember the last time I put $50 in my vehicle and saw the needle move. Girl, I feel that. Tyler Smith said, I used to do $100, but now $120 is my gas budget every 2 weeks. And that's because I run a strict program. I go straight from home to work. I don't offer rides. Sorry, not sorry. And I try to make sure I get everything done on the same route from home to work. Michelle saying, I'm making some serious changes. Walk to home few days a week and bike sometimes. And I completely agree with you. I feel like I run a pretty strict program as well. If it ain't a walking distance, bring your flats, we to walk and get some steps in.
I used to spend early at the start of the year, I used to spend $100 a week, and that would run me to 6 days, sometimes going into 7 days, right? And my budget would be $200 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now $100, really? $200. I do the same, home to work to home, and then maybe weekends I go pick up groceries. I know Galavant out there. Me, I understand the cost of living right now, perhaps better than a lot of people, and I appreciate it, right? I don't blame people, this one and that one, as much as I say how I could take responsibility and cut back. But now I find myself, they spend the $200, whereas I used to spend it in like 12 to 14 days. I spend that in like 8 days, right? So it's 8 or 9 days now, that $200. So I've had to, like Tyler said, increase my fuel budget by at least $30, just so I could make it past the next few days until I budget again, get my income budget again, and then start the cycle over. So I see it, I understand it personally.
So my vehicle takes prior to the recent fuel raising, but I think it took roughly about a little bit less than $200 to fill my tank. And I would range that a full tank lasts me almost 2 weeks, but I also not go out on weekends. I run a strict program, but now I find myself like $200, it takes more than $200 to fill my tank.
That's what I'm saying.
And so when I saw that at the gas pumps last week, I immediately said, oh, I don't know what we are doing, friend, but something will have to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so we feel your pain, guys. I think, though, for us in particular, for me, I try to find ways to walk as much as possible, right? In my case, I have to commute longer distances, and so I think it's a little bit easier when you're on the highways. But in the city, you tend to burn more gas when you're doing short stops too, so you have to take that into consideration.
The only time I usually walk is when I'm walking to my vehicle. Then I get in and I drive to my destination and walk out of it. KTV The Remix is coming up.
Let's talk about it.
Season 8. We will not allow any mic abuse, any mic violence this year, any sort of mic drama. We don't want
no dropping of the mic.
No, this year is all about fun and positivity. We launched the ad yesterday on social media, and people are already, fans are already sharing it, people are already commenting. I see on Instagram and Facebook, people are questioning whether or not they should compete this year, whether they should
The answer is always yes.
The answer is always yes. So auditions are coming in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, it's June 6th and 7th right here at our studios on Coney Drive. And it's exciting, Paul. I enjoyed the audition show itself. I think that though you say all the personality will come on, the one that will never make it, and who may brave enough and courageous enough to try their luck at the competition, right? But we encourage everyone to come. For a lot of people, this is like their bucket list, you know. They feel like they could sing. They have family members, friends who've told them, you have a lead gift, you know. Or they just like singing in the showers. And so this has been something that they've expressed multiple times wanting to try their hand at. And so we encourage you guys to come out at our studios on June 6th and 7th and try your luck at KTV The Remix. I know that this year is going to be exciting. Every single year we try to take it up a couple notches from the year before. And so I know that people definitely want to stay locked into the program this year.
Yeah, I definitely just want to say a huge shout out to the team behind the scenes that makes this happen. It's not an easy job. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of after hours work. And so I definitely want to say a huge shout out to the team, the producer that works behind the scenes to make this happen and to do it so consistently that we are in the 8th season. Man, this is exciting, and I'm looking forward to see all the talent that comes out and really put on a show for Belizeans and hopefully win that $10,000 cash prize.
I'm looking forward to it. But speaking of putting on a show, Paul, this weekend is exciting for us too, because we are heading down south and we are taking you guys with us. On Monday, you will be joining us in Hopkins Village for our country tour. Country tour is back, Paul.
Is it?
I know you've only experienced one with us. You went all the way to PG.
I was never meant to experience it, you know. I just filled in a day.
When I left.
And I was quite satisfied with that.
You were quite sad. You went all the way down south to the end of the map. But yeah, it's exciting. We are going to kick off our first leg of the country tour in Hopkins Village. And I really, really love this initiative, Paul. It's our way of getting outdoors and bringing Open Your Eyes to our fans all over the country. You know, every single morning when we start the morning show, we have people saying they're tuning in from this place, outside the country, inside the country, all over. And we're always excited when you guys tell us where you're tuning in from. And so this is our way of bringing the show to you guys. We are going on the road. Last year was super fun. I remember when we were in Corozal, we saw some people wait outside or wait at the entrance of the area that we were to come and meet me in April.
Wow.
And that was really cool. Like, people will actually watch the show, right? People will actually watch the show and they feel like we're a part of their family. And I really hope that you guys feel that way, because certainly for our fans who comment every morning, they feel like they're a part of our family. I remember when we met Mish this week, I feel like I meet my friend. Mish that my friend. Nobody can tell me I'm Mish that no friend. And so I feel that way for everyone else who've been commenting every single day. And I really hope that we get to see you guys. We are going to be at Ella's Cool Spot on Monday morning. So Come out and chill with us at 6:30 a.m. As usual, it's a live show, and it's definitely going to be an exciting one. We're going to have a lot of really cool activities to look forward to and great conversations as well.
And I almost certain Miss Ella will feed her, because she like feed people.
Well, I am not mad at that at all, so we welcome it as well. All right, Paul, we do have to wrap things up at this time. I want to jump back into the comments once more just to see what people are saying. I see Tyler Smith here saying, have to buy a beach cruiser, Sab. I agree. You know, I can't tell you the last time I ride a bike. Silence for that. Thank you very much. Let's move things along. Esther said, it's so nice that you guys step out of the box and go out district to this, to do this. This is amazing. I love it. Michelle said, sounds like a good trip. Mish, we'll have to take you with, we have to take everybody with. Guys, that would be so fun if we have a live audience as well. Just me throwing that out there, hoping, you know, that somebody pick it up. All right, cool. Let's move things along. We have to now take our first break this morning, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our first conversation is certainly an important one. We've been talking about helmet protections and the safety that it requires on the road. And so when we come back, we'll be speaking to the Ministry of Transportation. We'll have the CEO in with us.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, construction projects can receive insurance coverage from start to finish? We offer a variety of bonds. This includes bid bonds, advance payment bond, performance bonds, or others. Let Home Protector be a part of your team and help safeguard you through your next project. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Open Your Eyes is hitting the road once again for our country tour. Join us live at 6:30 a.m. from Ella's School Spot in beautiful Hopkins Village for an exciting morning filled with culture, delicious food, entertainment, and so much more. Get ready to experience the vibrant spirit of Hopkins as we showcase the people, flavors, tradition that makes the village so special. Don't miss the start of our 2026 country tour, starting at Hopkins Village, only on Open Your Eyes.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and that there is none righteous, no, not one." There are two great facts the Bible makes clear about all of us. First of all, we have all sinned. Secondly, all of us need God's forgiveness. I understand that it was Billy Graham's custom to get names of prominent people in the city in which he would be conducting a crusade to pray for them in advance that they would come to Christ during the crusade. Once, when preparation was being made to conduct a crusade in a large city in America, he wrote the mayor of that city and asked him to mail him a list of some people in the city whom he knew really needed forgiveness. The mayor responded by mailing Billy Graham a telephone book for the entire city. The message was clear. They all needed forgiveness. While some may be guilty of more obvious sins that incur greater guilt and consequences than others, the truth is that all of us have sinned and stand in need of God's forgiveness. How quick and ready God is to forgive the most vile of sinners who come to Him by faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. The last act of Jesus when dying on the cross was one of forgiveness. In His dying moments, He cried out to God and said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." 2,000 years later, He remains faithful and just to forgive all who honestly confess their sins unto Him. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
We at Full Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
In the heart of the Kaya district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our first conversation for this morning. It's a very important one, folks. So y'all want to stay locked in and you want to listen in keenly. It's all about understanding Belize's helmet regulations and safety trainings. And we have joining us on set the Chief Transport Officer in the Ministry of Transport, Mr. Leon Gentle. We also have the Director and CEO at Belize Automobile Touring Association, Miss Gloria Morga.
Good morning.
We also have the Director at the FIA Foundation Programs, Miss Agi Krasnoluka.
Yeah,
Definitely butchered that name.
You got it though. You got it at the end. We believed in you.
Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, a technical consultant at FIA Foundation, Dr. Terry.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I'd like to ask Chief Transport Officer Mr. Gentle to lead the conversation, just to explain to us how is it that we've gotten to this point where there is this collaboration with international agency, local automobile stakeholder, and then yourself as the ministry.
Paul, good morning. I think for some time the Department of Transport has been focusing on improving the safety of motorcycle riders. As you may know, last year was one of those years where we had a huge surge in fatalities related to motorcycles. And what the department has done is looked at different ways how we can effectively improve the safety. Initially, there was a proposal for training of motorcycle riders.
Yes.
Both
came with a lot of backlash.
And so with those backlash, we looked at other alternative ways to improve that safety. And here we are today looking at a helmet safety standards that, of course, the data had shown that a lot of the fatalities involve head trauma. And because of that, we felt it important for us to look at improving the quality of the helmets that are being used on the roads today. And these partners have been instrumental in moving that process forward.
Before we get into the details of the collaboration, I want to take a quick look at what the regulations are at this time for helmet usage. Are there specific helmets that riders would have to use?
So that's the purpose of improving the standards. It's mandatory that you use a helmet. The issue is that we have not standardized what those helmets should look like. And as you may see, we have delivery guys, the persons on motorcycle riding with a bicycle helmet, half helmets, helmets that are not certified or a quality that can save your lives. And so what we looked at from the department standpoint, along with the Bureau of Standards, is to look at the type of helmets that are going to come into the country. And so we start from that element in improving the quality of those, and so until we can transition all of the helmets that are not certified out.
Director Morga, if you can share with us a bit about how the association you represent adds value to this initiative.
Okay. Because we are the member of the FIA and we also have worked with FIA Foundation in this regard, we come across a lot of our sister clubs in the region who already are implementing the standards or have implemented the standards, have knowledge of this, and so we come in as a partner that can then help them with the standards. We got the framework already from our sister club in Jamaica, the Jamaica Helmet Think Tank, and we then tweak that to use that for the government so that they can then put in the standards that we required for the Belizean population.
To help us better understand the standard, like what's a key feature in the standards? What do we mean when we're talking about the standard?
Well, the standard in that regard is the fact that we want to have the helmets to be a certified helmet, but also it's not just about the helmet, it's about saving the lives of the persons that are riding. You know, we want people who are riders out there be protected, not just from other riders, but from vehicular vehicles that are out there that could be impacted. Want them to get home, to be able to be with their families. You know, it's a risk that they're taking with their lives. It's a risk that they lose their lives. It's a risk that they will impact their family financially if they're injured, severely injured, not having that money to be able to pay for those. So it's a big impact. We want them to be safe when they're riding out there. We want them to know that there's more to it than just a helmet that you're wearing. It's about you, your family, and your extended family, co-workers, because impacts everybody.
Yeah. I want to get Aggie in the conversation and Dr. Smith as well to talk about the role of the FIA Foundation and what their involvement is with the Ministry of Transport.
Sure. So just quickly, FIA Foundation is a global philanthropy. We were set up over 25 years ago to deal with issues linked to road safety. Motorcycle safety has become one of the major problems over last few decades. Motorcycle use have been growing over last 2 decades around the world. So it's not just a problem here in Belize or in the region, it's global. So the estimates that come from the WHO say that around 30% of all fatalities around the world are attributed to use of motorcycles. And we see places like Southeast Asia, for example, that has 46%. So, the half of your population is affected, dies or sustains injuries because of the use of motorcycles. So, they are dangerous. Motorcycle riders are vulnerable. Of course, they also very important. They provide very important service. That's why they are on the road. That's the mobility, access to services, access schools, hospitals, etc., etc. So, whilst we appreciate the role that they play in the system, we also need to make sure that we're mitigating the vulnerability and the dangers that they come. So FIA Foundation would work with partners around the world, governments and civil society to improve safety around use of motorcycles and helmet in particular. Helmet is, and Terry will tell you this, is the single most effective solution that can save you from death or brain injury. That's why it's so important that people in countries around the world have access to helmets that are safe and that are certified. Something that is not certified will not provide the adequate protection. We, in many places around the world, come across helmets that you can literally just squeeze in your hands. It's a plastic shell. If you are in the crash, this will not give you any protection. So we're delighted to have partnered with the ministry, of course. Gloria and the Automobile Club of Belize has been a long-standing partner, and we are very happy that the action towards improving, strengthening motorcycle helmet safety is taking place. And we stand by you guys and ready to help.
Well, Terry, let's get you in the conversation. Some strategies that you have seen as effective, especially with the usage of helmets.
Well, like Aggie says, it is a global problem. So one of the things I would do working with the foundation is we work on developing standards. So here in Belize with the Bureau of Standards, a well-recognized organization, we put together rather quickly actually this BZS 31 standard. And so now they have a document which requires certified helmets to only be sold and offered. So now the other agencies working with the Ministry of Transport can now start to gradually stop these counterfeit, low quality helmets coming into the country. And now eventually we're going to get to a point where, as Aggie said, we know a certified helmet will reduce your risk of dying by about 40%. So it's quite significant. So our goal here is to get as many certified helmets on riders as we can and continue to promote safety.
What are a few key features of a certified helmet, and how do we address the issue of costs or perhaps dispel the notions that it may be expensive?
Right, affordability is a significant challenge, and so the first thing we want to look for is a certification sticker. All certifications, there'll be a nice large sticker on the back center of the helmet which usually says DOT or ECE, and it recognizes that it's a certified product. A lot of helmets don't even have that, so we know that they're likely not certified.
Yeah, and in terms of cost, how is that conversation building?
Well, we're looking at, obviously tariffs, duties, importing. We don't have an industry here in Belize, so we have to bring products in. We want to try and keep affordability. One of the nice things, the great things of this standard is it accepts standards from all around the world. So now we can get competition for bringing products in that are certified, you know, so we can get products, DOT products, products from India and China that are certified, and that maximizes the market and tries to help support affordability. Yeah.
We had some images on screen. Can you tell us a bit about what you're seeing here? Can we
And what's wrong on the
pull it
pictures?
up on the screen in front of us?
So
And what's right or what's wrong?
Right.
You can see
I
it
don't
right
mean
here.
to show the
Oh, there we go.
faces,
Yeah.
but-
So a couple of things. Obviously, the helmet in the front is definitely, neither helmet is actually certified because you can see that it's got such a low profile in the front. I'm not sure what happened in the back.
For the first one, at
For the
least.
first one, I'm not sure what happened in the back. One of the tragic things is if you look at that helmet in the front, the brown helmet, look at how the strap comes down in front of the ear.
Yeah.
If that person were involved in a crash, that helmet would rotate off of his head.
Yeah. It doesn't even look like it's strapped.
Exactly. So now he would be the same condition as a rider not wearing a helmet.
That looks like a baseball helmet, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I think he's got a baseball cap underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one that we were looking at.
The second one, the person had abandoned the visor, so now they're riding without air protection, eye protection. So that is also, you know, one of the efforts of the ministry is to try and use the full resources of the device. You see the black things on the side, that's how the visor would have been attached. So you can tell it's been taken off. We see no stickers in the back or any designation that it's been certified to anything.
But it looks safer.
It is, but it's kind of the way I equate it to. It's like an uncertified fire extinguisher. You don't know if it's going to stop the fire. So
It's literally just a lesser evil.
you don't know if it's going to save them. So that's why we want to make sure we guarantee this quality.
And now we have some examples that
Right.
were displayed at the ministry's event.
Right.
What are we looking at here? What makes these ones stand out?
So they have all the elements of the helmet, right? They have the facial protection, the eye protection. If we were to turn around to look at the back of those helmets, the two helmets on the right, the one designated GPA and the one that's red, are not certified because they don't have any kind of indications. They don't have the certification stickers.
But they look like
they
what
do.
you
This
would
is the
use.
challenge we face here, and we have to improve awareness. The one on the left side that
The
we
red
saw,
one?
the one on the far left, that is actually a certified helmet. The HRO is actually certified.
Yeah.
So.
But
Now-
you see, this is the problem that we, Terry and I, work around the world, and this is what we're seeing. The industry that manufactures substandard helmets is getting better and better in manufacturing helmets that look just like certified helmets, faking the label on the back, also faking the documentation that comes with the helmet. So that's why it's so important to have Bureau of Standard, to have all agencies relevant in the enforcement process to be aware, to be part of this game. Otherwise, you know, we are facing the prospect of having counterfeit helmets flooding the countries, which we see unfortunately very often.
And we have engaged not only those importers of these helmets as well as the customs department as a part of the initial stages in terms of identifying what helmets should come in based on the standards that we're opening.
And
so
I'm thinking,
it's a multi-agent thing.
And I'm thinking the stores that sells motorcycles, for
Correct.
example, they also may have to reframe their approach, where in some cases they may not be thinking about what's certified or what's not certified. They're just thinking, well, my customer needs a helmet, so let me just provide it.
I need to make money.
Yeah.
So this is reframing of the conversation.
Especially
right?
when we
need
talk
to put
about
safety
affordability.
first.
And we did
exactly.
involve some of those larger importers. For example, Universal Hardware was involved in this entire conversation. They even looked at giving us the idea of how they import it. Over a 6-month period, it is ordered, and they can use our standards, the BZS, to be able to provide it to their producers and have that type of helmet be the one that comes in. the customs department. We even looked at the labeling of the box, so that when it comes in, customs department would be able to identify those certified helmets coming into the country. And so they are part of this entire process as well.
So what will enforcement look like? Because when those helmets officially come on the market, you will have to ensure that people are following the rules and wearing the helmets with the appropriate stickers.
So from our standpoint, as you may know, we're looking at increasing our footprint on the ground in terms of the numbers of persons being employed at the Department of Transport. There definitely has to be a conversation about the transitioning of all those not certified helmets, and then we have a time frame that would have to go through. And once that has been approved, we look at increasing now our footprint on the ground to make sure that those officers who have been trained, which we're going through right now, to identify those certified helmets and then move into enforcing the entire standard.
And this includes everyone on that motorcycle, driver, passenger. We've seen some disturbing videos of like up to 3-4 people on motorbikes, children included. How do you guys plan to address that even?
Well, we have to enforce the law. It's a cultural change that needs to happen, and we've been doing so with our presence on the road. We are, in today's activity, we'll be sensitizing our motorcycle riders about the standards and including things that they should know about riding a cycle.
All right, so conversations continue with motorcycle users throughout the week?
Yes.
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 I think you know that we're going to continue doing more training
awareness,
along with the Ministry of Transport and other municipalities to, get everyone in, so that then you bring the officers up to the level that they need to know to understand the certification of the helmet. So it's not a 1-day or 2-day deal. It's a continuous training to be able to get them to the standard.
Well, and you'll note, Paul, that what we did from the Department of Transport was we expanded our reach in terms of inviting the police department as well as all the municipal authorities. What we're doing right now in that training is we're training trainers of trainers.
Right.
So we'll be taking this not just from this angle, but when this is finished, we'll be preparing a training package that we would go now to different agencies that have enforcement officers to continue to train them, those who were not fully a part of this process.
All right, well, we've been having the discussion in our newscast. We want to thank you all for joining us on our morning show to continue the discussion, and we'll certainly be following up and also continuing this discussion right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And we also would want to thank you for bringing this to the attention of the public here.
Certainly.
We need you guys as well.
Yeah,
of course, 100%. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, at this time, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. Our next conversation is recognizing early warning signs of autoimmune diseases with the Belize Health Care Partners.
Once again for our country tour. Join us live at 6:30 a.m. from Ella's School Spot in beautiful Hopkins Village for an exciting morning filled with culture, delicious food, entertainment, and so much more. Get ready to experience the vibrant spirit of Hopkins as we showcase the people, flavors, tradition that makes the village so special. Don't miss the start of our 2026 country tour, starting at Hopkins Village, only on Open Your Eyes.
Look here, your kitchen light there, you never been in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our second conversation, and I think this one's quite an interesting one. We are going to be learning a bit more about autoimmune diseases and the warning signs and how you can protect yourself and fight them. Of course, with a specialist. We have here with us an internal medicine specialist with a subspecialty in rheumatology from the Belize Health Care Partners, Dr. Osman Morales. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, let's jump into it because I think a lot of people are still a little bit confused perhaps about what an autoimmune disease is or the different types of autoimmune diseases, if there even is. Let's begin there, setting the groundwork for what an autoimmune disease is.
Okay, autoimmune diseases is simply, to put it on a clear ground, on a more specific ground, it's those illnesses that attack your healthy cells, healthy tissues, and your body cannot recognize what is healthy from what is not healthy. Meaning that, for instance, the typical illness that you would hear around outside, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis. So these illnesses would attack systems and cells, and eventually it will destroy when it comes to lungs, kidneys, heart, digestive system, even brain. So we need to create awareness about these illnesses, because outside we don't know a lot of the autoimmune diseases which are on the rise, especially after COVID up to now. There have been described over 150 different autoimmune diseases, and we only know a few. A few have been studied, and every year we study more and more.
Is it very common in Belize to find people with autoimmune diseases?
I have been here for a couple of months, and I have seen plenty. Plenty, and it all has to do with our way of life, our lifestyle as well.
Okay.
Because even what we eat, even what we do, can also destroy or can also trigger these illnesses. So these illnesses can be triggered by pollution, can be triggered by a lack of physical exercise, can be triggered by what we eat, can be triggered by even other illnesses that we have in our body. So autoimmune diseases, it's something that we need to create awareness. In fact, this month of May, it's Lupus Awareness Month. And in every day, like for instance, yesterday was Behçet's Day, Awareness Day, Vasculitis Awareness Day, Lupus Awareness Day, of course. And it's done because so that we reduce the stigma in the society that we have, and also to create more awareness, of course.
Now I could understand the immune in autoimmune in terms of your immune system, but does the auto in the name suggest something? And I may be looking at it a little bit too closely and too analytically, but the auto aspect, does it have some sort of definition as to why that is specifically?
Auto means self. Self-destruction of itself, of the body, of the system. That's why it's autoimmune, of the destruction of our immune system.
So kind of like the body attacking itself.
So the body attacking itself.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked that question, because now I kind of have a way of reframing it.
Yeah, so typical signs and symptoms patients can have is fatigue, weight loss, hair thinning, blurry vision, a lot of joint pain, muscle pain, weakness as well. So patients start to feel that, and they usually, yes, they do get help from medical specialists, but it comes a time that after a certain time, the medication is not working. So that means that the autoimmune diseases are already being more strong or stronger in the sense that your body cannot cope with it, your body cannot defend itself, especially in the elderly.
How much of it are genetics?
Genetics, not by itself, and being genetics, meaning it could attack your genes, yes. And I always tell patients, since you are born, you are susceptible, you will have an autoimmune disease.
Really?
Yes. Not now, knowing which one, we don't know. Doing all the tests, it's not necessary, because if it's too early, there won't be any positive lab test. Antibodies, we call it. We need to test for those antibodies. Antibodies are like the little soldiers that are out there fighting. So if we don't test promptly or even before time, it could be even too risky, because patients could have already more damage. But telling them you will have rheumatoid arthritis, for instance, you will have lupus, I cannot already categorize a patient by telling them that. Because I need to be very sure he or she has that illness. Once they do have that illness, the management is for life.
You spoke about rheumatoid arthritis. Can you expand on what exactly that disease is?
So rheumatoid arthritis could start at any age.
Okay.
You could be a teenager, 16, 15 years old. I have patients that are 12-year-old and they do have rheumatoid arthritis, which is not called rheumatoid arthritis. At that age, we call it juvenile idiopathic arthritis. After 16 years of age, we call it rheumatoid arthritis. So this illness starts with pain, joint pain, especially the medium size and the small size joints, hands, elbows, shoulders, as well knees. Swelling, morning stiffness that could last over 30 minutes. So people would start experiencing these symptoms, which are the first symptoms, and sometimes it starts with the feet. And they're not aware that it could be rheumatoid arthritis, because who doesn't work and be with uncomfortable shoes, walking out every day, all day, and they would say, okay, it's the shoes, they change shoes, it doesn't work. They take all types of NSAIDs and it doesn't work. So you need to be aware that these first warning signs are signs of the rheumatoid arthritis.
Now, we spoke earlier about different factors that could contribute to autoimmune diseases like environment and lifestyle. But when you think of young children with these types of diseases, what are some of the factors that contribute to it?
We call it triggering factors.
Okay.
So these triggering factors in children, for instance, is starting from home, what they eat.
So as early as 12 years,
yes,
that could affect them.
And there are younger patients as well.
Wow.
Juvenile, we call it juvenile autoimmune diseases.
So tell us, what are some of those things that they could be consuming?
For instance, high carbohydrates or high sugar intakes. We know we go outside, we have a lot of fast food outside, we eat our
it's the
tacos,
Belize
fried
diet.
It's the Belizean diet. So that same diet involving carbohydrates, fatty food, could trigger and could change our genetics in the way that you were already born that you will have an autoimmune disease, but at what age? So if we have those triggering factors, we could develop these illnesses at a younger age or at an older age. So depending on also, some factors are non-modifiable, like for instance, the pollution that we have, the use of the constant contact with insecticides, pesticides. In fact, there are people that, there have been studies that in the books that even hair dyes, acrylics, all those things could also trigger these types of illnesses. In fact, also silicone implants, all that could also trigger these illnesses, because these are not well known, or these are not well seen per se, to say, by the body. So the body tries to reject this type of external factors.
So after diagnosis, what's the next step? Treatment or cure?
After the diagnosis, we need to have a plan of treatment, pharmacological and non-pharmacological. Cure, unfortunately, there is no cure. But we have an objective, remission. Remission is when a patient has no signs and symptoms of the illness. And yes, we can reach a remission, but it depends on the patient. Because if I do prescribe biologics, medications, for instance, and the patient is not taking good non-pharmacological care of themselves, then it won't work as effective, won't be as effective as having both.
So non-pharmacological care means looking at what you eat, for example, your lifestyle and your habits. That's what I'm getting from that.
Exactly. What you eat, your healthy lifestyle, doing physical exercise, it does help a lot. Also, getting adequate sleep, 7-8 hours a day, because fatigue.
Really? People get 7-8 hours a day?
They should.
But you know, I'm here thinking to myself, you know, there might be people tuning in right now saying, you know, all my life I eat a high carb diet. I eat my flour tortilla, and my granny never did find anything there. Like, why all of a sudden we're now seeing so many cases of people with autoimmune diseases, especially younger people?
Studies have shown that also what they add into what we buy is what is affecting us as well. So for instance, we eat a lot of canned food, for instance. The carbs that we get, ultra processed foods. So all these foods back then we didn't have, there wasn't any that amount of processed foods like right now. So yes, we do eat a lot of carbohydrates. I'm not telling you don't eat carbohydrates, but limit the amount of intake on carbohydrates. So if for instance you eat 4 flour tortillas every morning, then reduce to 1. Some people
Wow, you know, George, walking up my day.
So if you eat that amount, well, you have to reduce. You know, carbohydrates is bad. In fact, if you can just avoid carbohydrates on its own.
What's carbohydrates? Like, what's the examples?
Starch, flour, corn tortilla, rice, pasta, spaghettis. All those are carbohydrates that.
But a lot of people have the idea that without the presence of carbs, they won't feel full.
Exactly.
So what do you say to them?
You don't need to get full. You just need to get an 80% full And in your diet, you could include vegetables, fruits, vegetables.
People
you can
feel
include,
like if they just eat veg, they will get hungry in a half an hour.
and that is why you can include carbs, healthy carbs, whole grain carbs, maybe a little rice.
Mhm.
That's for lunch. Couscous, quinoa, little pasta, yes. And I'm not saying just, okay, avoid those foods. But once you have the illness, the best thing is to try to avoid or eat as less as possible.
Mhm.
It's not to get full. It's just to get that satisfaction that, well, you ate and 80% you got full, and then having that you have eaten and taking good care of yourself, it makes you feel well, because some patients cannot even be outside doing physical exercise because the disabilities that this illness it could cause, deformities as well. Some of them are very handicapped and they can't even walk. So we have to be very careful and at least practice healthy lifestyle with the diet.
Is there any data that links the autoimmune diseases with perhaps low-income homes, for example, and marginalized communities? Because I'm thinking in some cases the economic situation may prevent certain families from eating healthy or healthier simply because carbs are oftentimes more cheaper, like flour and rice.
Exactly. So, right now there has been that people marginalized, like what you said.
Yeah.
People are, well, they're not aware of what they eat. They just want to eat until they get full, like what you were saying. And unfortunately, that's the case. And another triggering factor is sun. The sun could also trigger these illnesses. I always say that the sun is the friend of all autoimmune diseases,
Really?
but our enemy. So, yes, we get vitamin D from the sun, but we need to have photoprotection from it, applying your sunscreen. So it always comes from these tiny little things that you can do to avoid heavy illnesses, for instance. So at Belize Health Care Partners, we do all sorts of tests, and you have to test yourself as well. If you start with all these warning signs, then we do have to test for it. And medication, believe me, it's a lifetime medication, but the remission is our objective.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I just really want to look into now some of the tests that are available at the Healthcare Partners for persons who might be experiencing some of the symptoms that you described.
Yeah, we do have what we call antibodies for rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriatic arthritis, for gout. If I could mention the autoimmune diseases, we have so many: spondyloarthritis, vasculitis. We do all the tests, whereby the test show us 40% of our diagnosis. The rest comes from our from the physical exam, from the clinical history that the patient tells us. So that is the way we come into the diagnosis of all these illnesses.
All right. Well, this has been quite an informative conversation. I've learned some stuff here, definitely. I think it reinforced the importance of taking care of our bodies and the steps that we can take to even prevent some of this, or maybe even delay the onset of autoimmune diseases. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
and we
you.
hope that you guys are able to make use of the information.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we are going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is all about stepping together in the fight against cancer.
Across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas like Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. Smart, bringing people together.
Season 8 of KTV. I want only be. This is a moment. If you got the voice, the vibe, and the passion to live everything you've got on this stage. Mark your calendar and get camera ready. Auditions are June 6th and 7th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At a Greater Belize, Leisure Studios and Tony Drive, Belize City. Hey, selected contestants will enter the KTV Season 8 competition, and the lucky winner will go home with a 10,000 grand prize. This is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want. This is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want from me. This is your moment.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Open Your Eyes is hitting the road once again for our country tour. Join us live at 6:30 a.m. from Ella's School Spot in beautiful Hopkins Village for an exciting morning filled with culture, delicious food, entertainment, and so much more. Get ready to experience the vibrant spirit of Hopkins as we showcase the people, flavors, tradition that makes the village so special. Don't miss the start of our 2026 country tour, starting at Hopkins Village, only on Open Your Eyes.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our third conversation for this morning, and we will be marching right into it as we prepare for this weekend's Cancer Walk.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And we have joining us on set the Assistant Secretary on the Board of Directors at the Belize Cancer Society, Ms. Monica Tucker, as well as the Secretary of on the Board of Directors as well at the Society, Ms. Jacqueline Rowe.
Ladies, good morning.
Ladies, good morning.
Loving the
Thank you.
bright orange, looking beautiful.
Thank you.
So we are gearing up for this weekend's Cancer Walk. How are things shaping up?
We are gearing up very brightly, as you can see. By the way, there are other colors.
Okay.
So we both have on the orange.
A brighter one, a lighter one.
One is a
dry fit.
Oh, nice.
One is a dry fit, yeah.
Okay.
It has long sleeves.
We just happen to have the same colors.
Yeah.
We chose the same colors.
Yeah. So yes, we are gearing up. To answer your question, I mean, most of the t-shirts have been sold. So anyone out there who's thinking about getting a t-shirt, please get in touch as soon as you can. We'll be giving the number out soon. Actually, it's on our Facebook page as well. So you can get yourself a t-shirt and be part of this great event on Saturday.
One of the biggest events really from the Belize Cancer Society. I know that it brings out hundreds of people on an annual basis, some going there to honor people who they love, who have fought and won the battle, and of course to honor those who've also lost the battle as well. Perhaps we can begin with the purpose of the walk from the Cancer Society standpoint and what you attribute to the legacy for such a long time.
Well, it all began with Juliet Orozco Soberanis. She was a prominent businesswoman here in Belize. She was also a counselor. And at 39, she was diagnosed with breast cancer at a time when cancer was a big stigma in Belize. It was taboo to talk about cancer. So her mission, her passion was to get the education, the awareness out there, whatever she could at the time. So they began a small initiative of volunteers, people who had survived cancer, families who came together, and they did their first walk in 1997, I think it was. And
it's 29 years ago.
Yes, yes. And then, of course, 1 year later, she succumbed to this dreadful disease, and she passed away in 1998. So she had a group of friends who embraced her and embraced her passion of what she wanted to get done, and hence the Belize Cancer Society, and then it went from there. Now, for purposes of the Cancer Walk, as you said, it's one of our largest events for the year. A visual. It shows that the people are aware and they care. You know, so they've come together in solidarity to address this and to shout out that we know, we care, we want to find results, we want to support, we want to be a part of the movement.
When we think of, you know, the different bodies of people that come together, I've participated in a couple of the cancer walks, and I'm always amazed when I see businesses come out and they do it for the experience, or people, they bring their own t-shirts and they have photos of loved ones on there. And it's a real wholesome and powerful moment to see that visually, as you described, wherever you are in the march or in the actual walk. It's a real powerful feeling to witness. This year's Cancer Walk, though, will take place at the very same location that we saw last year. It starts in Ladyville, yes?
Salinas.
Can you give us the idea of what we're going to be expecting?
Sure. Well, first of all, this year's theme is United by Unique, and that what does is highlights, you know, the cancer journey for an individual, that it's personal and it's entirely different from any other journey experience, and it brings the community together and then supports. So this year, the Cancer Walk kicks off at 5 a.m. outside Salinas, but first we do have bus runs. So the first bus run is out at the One Stop gas station, out at the corner of Central American Boulevard, and then the next one is at the Palote bus station. So there will be multiple runs between 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. And then the kickoff is at 5. I think they're going to have a warm-up.
Yeah, they usually have.
Yes, they have a warm-up before you go. So, and then so we wanted to emphasize that as much as people should have fun, there's going to be music, and we're celebrating not only the cancer survivors, we're supporting the people battling with this dreadful disease and those who passed away, but at the same time, we want to be safe. So we encourage our participants to follow the rules of the road. The traffic police will be there. We'll have a birth ambulance for if
any
we don't, just in case. But we want to emphasize that good footwear is important, cool attire to wear to hydrate, and to eat something, you know, electrolytes, some salt, before you do this walk. It's a 9 to 10 mile walk.
Wow.
So if you've never done a walk like that, pace yourself and, you know, do a couple miles if you can, or at the end or at the beginning, whichever you know, works for you. But at the same time, you've got to be mindful of your body. So we just want them to remember that. It's a very hot day. Even at 7 o'clock, it's 80 degrees. So they want to keep that in mind.
I'd like to I know that a lot has been said. What other details are important for participants to understand about this event?
I think, well, first of all, a big, huge thank you to each and every participant, because by buying the T-shirt, you're actually contributing to the funds of the Belize Cancer Society, and I think it is important to let everyone know that every dollar that comes to the Cancer Society from the sale of the T-shirts goes directly to cancer patients that we support. So we have at least 2 requests per week, I would say, of cancer patients that need financial support. For example, if you need radiation, if a cancer patient needs radiation, it has to be done outside of Belize. So we help support financially. It could be transportation costs, it could be the actual cost of the radiation. If we can't do the entire amount, at least we can contribute to a portion of it. And I think that's huge. And for everyone to know that that's where your contribution is going
So how do you all go about selecting individuals to assist? Because I could imagine that's a tedious and difficult task.
We try and help everybody. We really don't have a selection process to say we're going to support you and not you. We try and help everybody. We might not be able to give the full amount that a patient needs, because each patient, each cancer patient, it has its own journey. But we try and help everybody.
I imagine the need is great.
It is, and we're seeing it more and more. I don't know whether it's people are coming towards more, or whether you know, you'd have to look at the statistics of what's going on with cancer in Belize. But yes, it's kind of a heart-wrenching task, really. But we're happy that we can contribute and be part of the cure or prevention, let's say, sometimes.
What are your, both of you ladies, individual stories of how you got connected to the Belize Cancer Society? You're a part of the board of directors.
Well, mine was my dad. At the age of 67, he was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is a brain stem cancer. It's fatal. You know, it's you can get to some relief through surgery, you know, to probably put your affairs in order, but that's it. It's a death sentence.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Of glioblastoma. It's getting quite common now. I mean, if you look it up, some very prominent people in the world have gotten it. I didn't hear about it. I was 32 when my dad passed. So that was my initial involvement. And I was in the United States at the time. So I used to do the Susan Komen walk, and that was a 60-mile walk.
Wow.
But it entailed 3 days. And then after I did that, and I raised almost $8,000, I said, well, why am I doing this here? I should be helping at home. And then that's how it started. So prior to my returning to Belize, you know, I supported through fundraising efforts in the U.S., and I would bring the monies home and do the walks here instead.
And yourself?
Well, I think, like, I would hasten to say that almost every family has got a member that has been affected by cancer, and the same is in my family. I have had family members affected by cancer, so that's part of my motivation. But I think for me, more than that is just the drive to give back to society in the best way I can, and that's why I'm here. Excuse me.
I understand this is not a one organization initiative, but there's partnerships involved as well. Would you care to tell us some of those important and key partners in this initiative?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, and it depends on what activity we're doing. So, for example, when we have our forums, which are essentially educational forums, and they tend to be specific on one cancer. So we'll have a breast cancer forum, we'll have a cervical cancer forum, and in those instances, yes, we partner with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, PAHO, UNICEF, and they are, of course, very supportive. So yes, we do partner with stakeholders.
And for the walk specifically?
Sponsors. Oh, for the
sponsors.
walk. Oh, the walk specifically. Okay.
Yeah.
So I do have a list of sponsors, as well as a list, not very long, but a list of people who are in-kind sponsors that have helped us. So our direct sponsors for the walk are Sagittor, Digi, G.A. Rowan Sons, Bowen and Bowen, and by the way, Bowen and Bowen have got stations, crystal water stations along the route. That's not to say don't bring your own water. Do bring your own water, because rehydration is so important. But there will be water stations. BNE, the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan in Belize, Belize National Teachers Union. And in kind, the buses have been the buses have been donated to us. And with right now, with the price of fuel, we have to be extremely grateful to them that they're donating their time and their buses. And that is Truck Parts of Belize and Gia and Philip Jones. Habet and Habet are donating a truck. Truck Parts of Belize, oh sorry, I've said them buses. Okay, Night and Day Photography, the official photographer. So look out for your image on the Facebook.
You don't want to be too winded when they snap a photo of you.
That's right. Yeah, keep monitoring the Facebook page. Hot Off the Press is media coverage, and Sugar Fix are donating snacks.
Ooh.
So what a community group of people that are supporting us.
I am telling you that, and that is very important. Now, just to be clear, participation is free of cost, or is there a registration process and fee?
So buying the T-shirt is actually a registration, and a portion of that goes to the fund, is a part of the fundraiser.
Do you have to buy a T-shirt to participate?
Don't have to.
Well, we'd hope you would.
Okay, yeah.
And we hope you would all be wearing 2026 T-shirts.
Yeah. Yes. How much do you have enough T-shirts to go around?
Well, I think you said it.
Well, it's been on sale for quite some time now, and it was $30 for the T-shirts and $65 for the dry fit.
Okay.
You know, so.
But do we have any more available at this time?
It's a very low supply depending on size.
Oh.
So you'd have to call the office or visit them at the Mercy Lane headquarters.
All right.
Excellent. In Belize City.
So if it's sold out and I can't get one, I could still come out and represent.
We won't deny your presence.
All right.
Sure. And if you want to do that, you can give a little contribution.
Exactly. Yes.
If you're so inclined, we'll be very happy for that. So yeah, people can come out, of course.
Yes.
You know, come out. If you don't have a T-shirt, don't let that stop you. Come out, be part of it, be part of this walk, be part of this community, and a donation would be appreciated.
Yeah, we haven't reached that stage yet of registration.
It would be really hard to if you think
that's a more formal
approach to it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, ladies, this has been a wonderful conversation. We definitely support the Cancer Walk. I think I'm planning to be there as well on Saturday, so I got to get my rest Friday night. And I'm looking forward to taking part in the activity.
Any final thoughts?
Well, I just want to say that the power to make a difference lies with all of us. So why we walk? We walk because we can't walk away, and everybody deserves a lifetime.
That's excellent. That's a beautiful,
way to end it.
Yes. And I would like to thank each and every individual that is part of this walk on Saturday, and thank you for your contribution. Thank you for being with us, supporting us. Thank you to being part of this community, which we all feel so strongly about. Thank you.
Thank you.
And one final note, on behalf of the president of the Belize Cancer Society, Kim Simplis Barrow, and the board of directors, we thank you for this opportunity to help get the word out.
Of course.
So we look forward to seeing everybody this Saturday,
Yes.
including you.
All right. Well, to see you there, Paul. All righty, we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we have an interesting conversation to jump into when we come back. The next conversation is why bees matter. Today is World Bee Day.
Essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
All right, you're all set. I'll swap out the water inlet valve and everything is running normally.
Amazing. So what will be the cost?
Oh, for you? There's no cost.
No cost? I'm flattered, but I'm actually married.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's actually part of our 1-year warranty policy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Don't worry, it happens all the time.
Really?
No.
Belize's only full-service GE USA dealer. Full service, full warranty, full selection. GE Appliances. Good things for life. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Ready, Dangriga? Something big is coming your way. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Insurance, construction projects can receive insurance coverage from start to finish. We offer a variety of bonds. This includes bid bonds, advance payment bond, performance bonds, or others. Let Home Protector be a part of your team and help safeguard you through your next project. Visit any Home Protector insurance office near you to learn more.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping into our final conversation this morning, and it is an opportunity for us to perhaps acknowledge the importance of bees. Yesterday was World Bee Day, and not Beyonce, but this morning we are going to be learning a little bit more about what the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and New Growth Industries have been doing in the country to preserve bees and even educate future beekeepers as well on the importance of beekeeping and even creating other products from them. We have here this morning a National Beekeeping Coordinator from the Ministry, Miguel Huertas, and Senior Projects Coordinator from the BMDC, also under the Ministry of Agriculture, Sergio Tillett. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Good morning, good morning.
And happy Bee Day.
Good morning. It's a pleasure and honor to be here for this weekend or the whole month, but it is World Bee Day.
Yeah, World Bee Day, and we have a lot to jump into.
Yeah. Why celebrate the day?
Why celebrate? If we can understand what is the crucial role of the bees, then we need or we must create an awareness. And not only the importance, but what are the threats that is being affected to the honey industry. One of them I can say, and I proudly say, that bees pollinate daily 5,000 plants, flowers. That is one of what they can do. And 12 bees can gather 1 teaspoon of honey for their entire life. So if we can see what is the importance and what they do is pollinate, and if we don't have pollination happening across the world, then food will be in a threat. And that is what is or can be happen if we don't pay attention to this.
So it's more than just making honey for persons who would like to choose that over sugar. It's about food security.
Wow.
They play a role in food security as well. Here in Belize, we have a specific type of bee in the country, I believe. Yes, it's the Africanized.
That's right.
Yeah.
You are very aware of what we have.
I remember you came here last year, and I was paying close attention.
Right. We have over 20,000 species of bees in general, but what we can find here in Belize are the 3 main. The stingless bees, which were the native bees, were the first ones, produce small amounts of honey, but it is a medicinal purpose honey. We have the Apis mellifera, the Africanized bees, and there are solitary bees also that you normally see in the wall and one of that. But what we want to bring across today is how or what we are doing from the Ministry of Agriculture. Recently, we had, few years before, we had many calls to our office, bee reports that were among the community. If we can see beyond that, in the vegetative areas, many are diverting to other activities and destroying many vegetative areas. Now bees don't know and don't have much of that area. Now they are swarming to our communities. And what was done? Unfortunately, it was eliminated. But from October last year, a cabinet paper was approved, and from since then, we train across Belize many, like 10 to 15 beekeepers, that they will be responsible now for relocating the swarms within the community and not eliminating. So those colonies that are now relocated from the community now to the beekeeping industry, and now that will create a boost and will create a new set of colonies in the industry for more production, for more pollination, and for more people to generate income.
To simplify, you guys are putting the bees to work. You're
That's
moving
right.
them from these hostile areas and
Right.
giving them something to do.
What are beekeepers producing?
Well, at the moment, good morning to all viewers and good morning. Thanks for the opportunity. The main product that's being brought to us is honey. Although some beekeepers are now diversifying after a training that the ministry, along with the CURSAP group and BMDC, did a training in Merida for byproducts. So they're doing their own wax sheets now. They are doing candles, they're doing soaps, they're doing cough syrups out of honey. So all of these things are derivatives from the raw honey that we produce. And definitely will create more income for these beekeepers rather than just depending on honey.
So what do we have in front of us by way of these products?
What we have here is the main product that they bring to us, honey. And this is just filtered honey. So it's in its raw form. It's not altered, it's not done to anything to
There's
it.
nothing added to it.
Nothing added to it. It's
So
pure
what
honey.
makes it different colors?
Okay, well, it has to do with the time in which the beekeepers harvest, because the season normally runs, depending on the weather again, between beginning of March to like ending of June, before the rainy weather start. So during that time, there's different floration, different flowers sprouting, so that when the bees collect the nectars to make the honey, it might be from different flowers. So at times you see it clear like in the middle, and at times it come as dark as this one.
Wow.
What the ministry has been doing a lot lately is promoting the dark honey has more medicinal attributes to it.
Does it have a
So,
different taste?
Yes, it's a little bit more a little bit harder, I would say, in the taste,
Okay.
Really?
but it is has more medicinal attributes to
So
it.
when you say like medicinal attributes, I would take that with a little bit of lime and cayenne pepper for your cough,
That's right.
versus putting that in my oatmeal.
That's right. Because the clear one is more for like sweetening.
Ah.
Right.
So
So-
how does BMDC go about promoting these products? Like, how do you partner with the beekeepers?
At the moment, I must say we're working with one cooperative that has 21 members.
Okay.
And we are also working with the Esquivel group in Corozal. But that has been off and on depending on the demand for the honey. But what we do is that we work along closely with Mr. Huertas and his team to go and do apiary inspections. That's a must before we buy the honey from the beekeepers. So that we inspect every apiary for all the beekeepers that are interested in selling to us. Then once the apiaries look healthy and they have been doing all the technical work that they should do according to the ministry, then we go proceed to purchase their honey.
So you all do the bottling and the labeling after you purchase the honey?
Yes, that's right. So our job, the same thing with the rice that we package, the same thing with the fruits that we package. We don't produce it. We simply package and distribute.
Yeah.
So we are kind of easing off the job on the
Of
beekeepers
course.
because now they can entertain and concentrate themselves fully in production with the
Yeah.
quality honey, and we'll take care of all the marketing side.
That's
I
very
want to
good.
look really quickly at the bees that you brought here with us, with you, Miguel. There are different displays here.
Right. Well, here we can see what is a queen
We'll
bee.
lift it up.
Okay, we'll
And
lift
there
it
is
and
only
show.
one in
So
a
this is
in
a
colony.
queen bee.
That's right. Also, we have the female. She's a female, fertile female.
Huh.
This one is a female, which is the worker, but she's not completely fertile.
How can you tell when there's like what's the queen bee?
Yeah.
Her abdomen is longer.
Ooh,
She,
let's see that.
she is fed with royal jelly, so she develops longer. So
Okay.
she is.
Can I take a closer
Yeah,
look?
one
at
second.
And for our management, we replace her every year, or the latest every 2 years.
Okay, so this is the queen bee, and the abdomen area is longer, as they said.
That's right.
I don't think I could spot this though with
She
all the
can.
other bees.
It's bigger, right?
She
Yeah.
can lay up to
This is-
2,500 eggs per day.
And then what we have here,
That is the worker bee.
this is are they
Just a regular bee.
Those are females, but they cannot lay an egg.
So you would see them
The
with
larvae,
her.
they cannot lay.
How do you know these are females?
The size of their body, the anatomy of the colony. Now, in this one, at this end, we have a worker bee, a drone, sorry, which is the male.
So the
Ooh.
males are drones.
Are bigger, more
muscular.
more muscular. And their responsibility is to mate with the queen.
So this is
and ventilate.
This is a drone.
That's
at the bottom.
Right.
And these are females?
These are females workers.
Oh yeah, you could see the size of the male, like bulky.
Right.
Right? Makes me feel good about myself.
The role and responsibility is for ventilate inside, but its major role is to fertile the queen.
The drones.
Right. Unfortunately, those are the first ones that get expelled from the colony when there is not much food.
We know the story.
What happens?
Men.
What happens? So they fertilize the queen, and then they get kicked out for
during the dirt period when there is not much feed in the colony. In the wild, but we normally feed them. They get removed from the colony.
When you say get removed, what do you mean? Like
they get kicked
they
out.
get kicked out.
Unfortunately.
Do they
that language?
Do they fight to see who will fertilize the queen?
That is mating flight. Normally, when a colony doesn't have a queen, then she's replaced. Now she does one mate flight.
One mate
Out
flight.
of that mate flight, 12 to 17 drones will meet her in the air.
Oh.
And once that drone meet her in the air, that drone will die after mating, and then the queen will be enough, probably 12, 17 drones, and she will be back in the colony. She will not get out from there since that.
So one flight to mate.
Yes.
And out of those 12 to 17 drones, only one will succeed.
No, those 17, the
They're all
strongest
17.
and the fittest ones will reach her because she's flying at a speed.
Yes.
On the air, she will mate, and then the drones will die immediately.
All right.
And she will continue laying egg, 2,500 eggs for the first year, and from that we replace her.
Wow.
Wow. Nature is, Mother Nature is amazing.
Yes. I'm really interested
And
in
they
these
have
now.
pests as well.
Yeah. So, and that's what we have here. When you say they have pests, what does that mean?
This is the colony itself, bees. Like for example, this one is the small hive beetle.
The what?
Small hive beetle.
Okay, small hive beetle.
And how this affect, this feeds within the colony and defecates in the honey. And then it spoils the honey in the sense.
And then this one?
And this is a varroa mite. Those are like ticks. They stick on the body of the bee and suck, right?
You guys can
and then
hardly see
transmit
it.
disease.
Very small.
Recently, we had a situation in Cayo where we visited a apiary and the level of infestation was very high. So immediately it had to be in control.
What
so
do you
if
do?
not control, we have several products that we can use. One of them is Timol. It is a very natural product. We don't try to use any chemical because we are consuming honey.
Right.
So we apply Timol on them, and then it controls.
Wow, that's incredible. And you also brought another important part of an apiary there. I don't know how we could reach it, but yeah, can you just scoot it over a bit? It's just want to give those who've never been exposed to any of these stuff. How heavy is it? Is it heavy? Yes, you could pull out one. You could bring one over.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a frame. Normally 10 of those are in a box.
What are we looking at here?
What you're seeing is the technical box.
Yes,
the
technical box.
The brood chamber, that has its base, its cover, and 10 frames, which is the brood chamber. Now in the field, bees just form their wax sheets like normal, how you can see, but now it is technical because we can remove and put back. So bees we put in a wax sheet, a foundation wax sheet in the middle, and bees stretch it out. There are some pictures that I have shared.
Okay.
Once they have it stretched, they can put 3 things on it. One, honey, the other larva, or the other pollen. And it is distributed in order inside the colony. In the middle is brood, in the all the way to the sides, to the extremes is honey, and one after the extreme one on the side is pollen. That's how they store. And at the top, we can have second super, or even the third. The third normally is a honey super, where we have only honey in top. And when it is completely full, 70% or 80% sealed with honey, then it is harvested.
How do you harvest honey? Do you squeeze it? Do you have a machine that squishes it?
There is a harvester, an extractor, which by centrifugal force, it extracts the honey, but we uncapped.
By what?
with a knife.
Centrifugal force?
Centrifugal force.
Like grinding?
Like it spins.
Yes.
It spins within a drum.
Like this.
So we put like 4 frames hanging off the drum, and by the time it spins, all the honey drips out from that. So when they are finished harvesting, all you're going to see is just the initial wax sheet.
Yeah.
All the honey would drip off from it. And then it's collected in the drum, and of course it has like a little valve in which you can fill out the buckets, the food grade buckets that they use, and that's how they bring it to us to sell
And
it.
then that's just honey.
That's just honey.
So they don't have to add anything else.
Nothing at all. They just filter it to remove the excess wax and maybe pollen that might be, or even bees inside the honey. So just the pure honey gets filtered into the bucket.
It's so amazing that these little workers make some of the most delicious, and even like healthy products for our consumption as well. When you think of the things that we've used honey for.
I gotta say also, Saba, what I appreciate is how we've transformed the idea of bees being dangerous, and we need to eliminate them, to really creating a new mindset that has led us to develop products that are now on the market. I think that's incredible, and I have to big you all up for the amazing job you are doing in terms of transforming the mindsets of Belizeans where this is concerned.
All right.
And of course, we have to thank our beekeepers who go all the way out to, because that's extreme hard work, and especially in this hot weather right now, to be in a suit like that, protective suit, especially like around 10, 11 when they're harvesting, it's no joke. So
one of the things I wanted to ask is, do they have a time frame that they have to ensure that they pull out these sheets? And if they don't, like it spoils or something like that?
Well, it is a matter of understanding and knowing when. Because if we don't do it at time, the colony can swarm, a portion can leave, and that is automatically how they reproduce in the wild. But since we are working, we are managing, we want to control what we have, so we have to be there to harvest. When it is completely sealed, most of them, there are normally 10 on the top, 8 and 2 at the bottom. We harvest the 10 of them and we replace. If we don't do that, the colony doesn't have space where to work, and automatically a portion can swarm. So that's where we.
And so they go and they make a new home to work some more.
So before they do that, we do what we need to do and even multiply colonies when we are ready.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so and that equipment that you're seeing there, just for reference, BMDC works closely with beekeepers. So we do purchase this equipment, and beekeepers who are interested or new beekeepers are coming on board. You could get all your protective gear, your smokers, your gloves, everything that you need for beekeeping, we can get that for them. As part of what the ministry offers to beekeepers. So the BMDC is the part that does that portion.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, as we wrap up the conversation, I'll ask for persons who are interested in learning more about beekeeping and perhaps getting further resources, how can they reach out to you guys?
We have on all districts, we have one station, and there is one person responsible to honey. So reach your nearest department, Ministry of Agriculture in your district, and then you can get the training, information, all what you need. Also, we have put on our Facebook page, Ministry of Agriculture, the names of the new trained experts removing the colonies, and we will update that in new few days.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, that is for the technical side. Now for the marketing side, we want to encourage, because we are looking for export market. We are still on the go, and it's almost on its final stages. We will need a lot more beekeepers. So we encourage the beekeepers to get in touch with the Ministry of Agriculture so that we could have them in the system and be able to purchase from them eventually, because honey is money at the end of the day, right?
Honey is money.
So beekeepers need to be aware of this. There is market for it, and we will do our portion to ensure that the ministry grows.
Because when the export deal is struck, there's be high demand, and we need to supply.
And we need to supply our country still. We can't forget our local consumption, right?
Makes me want to get into the business.
There you go.
It's very lucrative.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. This has been quite an interesting conversation. I've learned some stuff, and we also thank you for bringing some items to show us as well, and to show you guys by extension.
Yes.
All right, well, we do have to wrap things up at this time. It's been a wonderful morning, and we want to say thank you to all of our guests who joined us, you guys, for locking in and engaging with us in the comments section as well. It is May 21st, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com.
You can also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BC. or on Instagram for all the behind the scenes highlight at OYE Belize. We even have TikTok. You can join us on TikTok at openyoureyes.bz.
And we have a phone number that's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow for What the Friday?
Yeah.
When you open your eyes
And start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Thursday, Friday Junior, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.